ZentraCast is a space to join some of Europe's most inspired leaders in original conversation. When everything in your organization, career, or even your life seems inside out, demanding change, or you simply feel that there has to be something more to life than you experience now, this is the place for those seeking the wisdom and experience of personal transformation. Together, we will explore the intersection of our material and spiritual worlds and how we align this perceived separation in our professional and private lives. Stick around, you might just walk away with the insight you seek for the best version of you to show up. Hello, dear Zentranauts. We're already August, so I am Marco Howen and your host on this journey for the next 60 minutes of engaging dialogue and hopefully a lot of insights for all of us. Today, I have the pleasure to have an original conversation with the woman who proves that sustainable business model is not only good for the planet, but can also be sustainable for its shareholders. Ilana Devillers, founder and CEO of Food4All. If startup scenes would attribute Oscars, Ilana definitely would win the Oscar for Best Director, Best Actress in a leading role for the perfect showcase how sustainability and business are mutually inclusive. Hi, Ilana.
Hi, Marco. Hope you're doing great. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Great. I'm doing very good. I'm good. How are you doing today? How is life flowing on this beautiful Thursday?
Well, life is flowing pretty good. Super hot outside, but no time to go outside because a lot of work to do, though.
A positive perk of entrepreneurship is if you have an AC, then it works. You can stay inside. That works.
Yeah, not that sustainable, but we're coping with the heat.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a bad one right out of the start. But okay, I try to recover on this one. let me kick it off with one question. I would love to kick off today's ZentraCast with this question: who are you? Not to be mistaken by what do you do, but just pure and simple. Who do you see in the mirror in the bathroom in the morning when you get up?
So when I get up, of course, I see a strong woman. That's the first thing that I see, right?
Yeah.
I am a person determined by the fact that I was born from a Dutch father, French mother. I'm 29 years old today, and every morning I see other challenges. But the first thing that I see is a strong woman trying to cope with all the challenges and trying her best in this life challenge.
Beautiful. Ah, the strong woman for sure. Huh? That is that's for sure something which we all see most likely. Uh, Now, as I call this original conversation, I don't really want to go into the story of Food4All and all the details, how and this and then. And so I think there's a lot of articles and a lot of other interviews which are done, which are talking about that. And it's more about the person behind. It's more about it's for me. It's really about you, Ilana. For example, what drove you to become an entrepreneur?
Oh, I love those questions, and actually, it's a good challenge by itself. So, what drove me to become an entrepreneur is my family background, and especially my grandfather, who led by example. And he started everything from scratch again. So he proved that it was possible to lose everything and rebuild an empire, right?
Wow.
The second role model that I have is my mother, was a serial entrepreneur also who lost everything and who still kept the strength to move forward despite a very tough past, very critical divorce with my father, and very tough moments. So I have two, let's say, role models, one that rebuilt everything, the other one that lost everything. And thanks to this, I have this drive to actually prove that I can also do it
Wow.
for a better world.
Beautiful. And now when did you start? When did it start to be an entrepreneur? When did you felt now I really want to do that? It's like, was that like when you were 2 years old and you saw your grandfather, or was it, oh, was it, I don't know, came to say, I don't know, what was behind it?
So it's actually super weird. So I had this, the very beginning of this feeling to do something. I was around 16 years old, and as a 16 teenager, I loved to party, right? But we organized parties, like private parties, and this was already a sense of being an entrepreneur, right? Because there were
Mm,
a participation, financial participation to get in, negotiation of the bottles of alcohol, obviously, and the place. So this was already the start. Then I always worked when I was in high school,
mm,
and I did a lot of work when it came to selling those products, those energy drinks, and that was the
mm,
second part. And when I realized I didn't want to become a lawyer like 90% of my family, I actually, well, had this realization during my studies in Strasbourg. It was 2015-16, and precisely 16,
mm,
where I had this green light from another friend who unfortunately lived very tough times.
mm,
And this is where I was like, okay, just you have one life. You don't like what you're doing. You don't feel the impact. You want to do something impactful. You have this idea. And I'm very stubborn, right? So once I want something, I'm just like running to that. So I left everything that I didn't like, and I was like, okay, let's start this challenge. And this is how it started.
so it literally started in 2015 already. So we're talking about seven years in here. It was like you're it's just like it's not because you are, well, compared at least to me, quite young. You are it's not because of that you're not a real veteran in what you're doing.
Technically, yeah, we could call that. Let's say that I always had this maturity, right? Because of my background,
Yeah.
divorced parents, I took care of my sister. It was not a golden childhood as one could say, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always was really more mature than the people of my age, and this maturity also led me to be, disciplined, and
Yeah.
to basically, when, sorry for the term, but shit hits the fan, you need to find a solution and quick. And I
Yeah.
always had this in my mind.
Yeah. So did the shit hit the fan already when it comes to food for all?
Oh yes, it did, because everybody
Give
believes,
me some spicy insights.
first. Let's look at the corridor. It's the thing is, you have the image, of course, that what is happening in the news. We have a lot of success, touching wood, by the way, because it's never written in stone. So you need to prove
Yeah.
yourself every day. But yes, shit hit the fan pretty deeply, because we started at the end of 2018, and
Mhm.
19 was product market fit time. And at the end of 19, COVID hit.
Yeah.
COVID hit during the extension time. So extension was frozen. In order to maintain our clients, we did it for we frozen the bills as well. It was very very tough, because we had a team. We were supposed to scale. We were supposed to make more revenues. It was frozen in time for 2 years.
Mhm.
So we had to find solutions pretty quickly. Prices
Right.
increasing everywhere. So yeah, well, we always had to find solutions, and this is what I talk financially. But we also had, internal issues, team members, consolidating a good team, consolidating a culture where, when the period is very anxious for everyone, you need to be a good manager. You need to be there. You need to be there for your people, because this is your family that you have chosen.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. And I always talk about this. It's like an organism. It has to be. You have to take care of everything. It's not because you have some people doing manual stuff that they're not important. They're as important as anybody else. And if you're not taking it into account, then that is jeopardizing the whole operation. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And everybody is as much as important as the others. Everybody brings something to the company. They have their own qualifications. and it doesn't
Mm.
depend the department you're in, right? So everybody has its role to play, and at the same level, this is how we treat everyone here in the company. And yeah, it was very tough, I guess, on your side too.
Yeah, I had my shares of challenges when it comes to when shit hits the fan. Yeah, yeah, I had these challenges for sure. Well, I was lucky enough with COVID that I had at that moment already. I was out of my classical or my legacy businesses, so I had no employees, and I was extremely happy. I have to say that I didn't have to go through that, but I deeply felt for everybody who had it. But from that perspective, actually, for me, that was actually as I was actually having COVID right at the beginning. I think I was tested the 18th of March positive, 2020, and it was really nasty. So I was sick for 3 weeks, not no hospital, but really sick, and I needed almost 2 months to get back on track. It was actually a very good time because I hadn't had this responsibility, so I could really take care of myself, and it was really important for me on my journey to for my evolution. It was really interesting. So yeah, things are happening for the reasons they are happening. At
Exactly.
least always for one reason.
Exactly. There's always a reason somewhere, right?
Yeah. And when did you see the end of the tunnel? Because we're still in COVID, huh? So we're not out of it yet, and I think the next crisis will be worse than COVID. So when did you see end of the tunnel?
Well, let's say that the tunnel is very long, right? But you have lights within the tunnel.
Yeah.
And the first light that you need to see is the light within yourself, because you are the one enlightening the others, right?
Absolutely.
The tunnel is very long. The tunnel itself is the life of the company. So what is happening and what will happen in the very near future? It's another challenge, but those are lessons, right? It's a challenge. You make it, you break it. You make it, it's great. You pass to the next milestone. You break it. It's a lesson learned.
Interesting. You said something which is very dear to me, so I will have to dig into that one. Is you have to see the light in yourself. How do you do that, you, Ilana?
Yes, yes, well, it's not easy every day. I'm not going to say it's black or white, right? I have my days also where people
Fortunately.
know do not talk to me because I might be a bit tough. Um, but the light, the light you see it in yourself when you just take a moment of break. And I'm not saying like one day or whatsoever, but you can take those moments within the day where you just do this retrospective and where you see where you arrived, how you did it, and that you need to remind yourself that you managed to do all of that right until now.
Yeah.
Because you tend to focus a lot, right? When there are tough moments, you tend to focus on the stressful moments, but those are really moments in time. They will not last, you know it, because you overcame challenges in the past. The good moments will not last either, so you also need to actually earn them, enjoy them, celebrate them, because nothing will ever last. And that is how I actually try to, give this perspective. Of course, I have certain exercises too, right? To
Ah, we want to hear that. We want to hear that. That was the next question. What do you base this incredible mature answer? What is it based on? What? Oh no, what are your influences? Because we have to come up with these kind of thoughts. Like, well, I agree. Some people just saw it from their parents and just took it off. But we have to face it. Not everybody has these kind of parents where you can get this from. My daughter doesn't have these parents. So, so what I want to say is what are the influences to come up with this
So
quite
I,
philosophical.
I I read a lot, right? I read a lot of books. We have a lot of brilliant entrepreneurs in this world, brilliant ones. They if you look into their lives, it was not all golden and so forth, and they also have this will to move on, this power to actually cope with stress. And this is like, you just look in your environment. That's the one thing you can do. and you have a lot of inspirational people there. And for me, of course, entrepreneurs, obviously, because this is my domain. And other exercises are simple. I do micro meditation,
Okay.
so really short exercises because I don't have time. Uh, but those work. Though these works really, really. And in the morning, the first thing I do is I have those positive readings. So you have positive cards for confidence, for motivation. This
Mhm.
is the first thing I do in the morning. I do not take my phone. I put it on the side. I wake up, take those cards, positive reading because it sets the mood for the day.
I know
And
this kind of it's like this kind of stuff. Huh?
yes, exactly, exactly. And it really works. I was in the beginning, I was very skeptical. I was like, yeah, well, people write this on the card. What does it change? Like, it doesn't change anything in your life, right? But then I started and I was like, oh wow, it's actually working. It works on my mood. And you also do a lot of fitness workout because it's for your mental strength also. So I do also my exercises 30 minutes a day plus micro meditation on reading. And there you go, inspiration from the outside. And this is my secret sauce. Might not work for everyone, but this is my secret sauce.
Well, it's important to have one. The challenge is when you don't have one. That's like I remember I for years I was asking myself, what could be my routine, my morning routine. I was always somebody who refused routine. I don't know why. Well, I know now why, but I always refused routine. And when I started to get into that, and it's not so long ago, where I really got into very serious routines, which I do since years now, and that is really very powerful. Like for me, it is I get up every morning at 5:30, and I meditate for half an hour. Come rain, water, snow, whatever, I meditate for half an hour every day. And if I'm not doing it, it happens sometimes, I get grumpy. I feel really like the old me. Like, oh no, I don't want to go back there again. But and then again, I said always, I'm very proud of people who are able to do micro meditation, and that's enough. I need half an hour to get this thing here calmed down. So it's great, but it doesn't matter. It matters that you have a routine.
Yeah.
There's something we talked about it before, but it's something which I wanted to come back to, because you talked about when you started off in 2000. Now I have to get it together. 2015, when you had the idea, and the idea is like your boyfriend prepared the meal. I think it's written a little bit everywhere. Uh, really great. Not judging, just saying it's really great. But when you had the idea, that became your calling. That became your vocation. Why? What made it your vocation? What made it why, and what made it stick?
So it's very good that you say vocation because I hear a lot passion. Passion is very different from vocation. I was always, when I was in high school, when I was in school, always engaged. I always defended my colleagues. I was always in those associations. When I did law, I was in ELSA, which is the European Law Student Association. So I was always in front of the people to defend other people. I I hate when the situation is not fair, but well, guess what? Life is not fair. I always helped in NGOs. I try to do my best to help people outside who have nothing. And this was there since the beginning. And this is my vocation, trying to help people to get better, to get a better situation, to be better, be better people. And that is it. That's really it.
So, and then the 2015 event was just that was just the idea which was on top of you being there for others.
Exactly. It was actually this idea was actually, the green light. Like, look, you are there to help other people. And you
Okay.
know that this is your vocation. And you have this idea and you're like, wow, there you go. It's like waking up in the middle of the night, you have the brilliant idea, the $1 billion idea. It's exactly the same. So this is exactly how it happened. To have this vocation, to have this green light, to have this $1 billion idea, as people like tend to say, And on top of that, it's real business. It's not like charity for charity. It's not charity. This is business. This is sustainable business. And making a business out of this vocation, which is a noble cause, which is there to help people, this is a challenge. This is a challenge I want to prove to the world that it is possible to do sustainable business, generating revenues out of it, and you should not be ashamed of it.
Wow. As said, you should get an Oscar. But I love it because when we met a couple of weeks ago, when we decided to do this together, or already 6 weeks ago, whatever, uh, we should do this interview together. That actually that's where where I was blown away by exactly that speech. I think it is. So everybody talks about you have to give, you have to help, you have to be compassionate, you have to, all that is, and it's all right, it's not that, but you are able to link that to business and to create something sustainable. So that is congrats and kudos to you, because that's really powerful. Now, how do you, what would happen? Well, now we're going to hypothetical. I don't know where I go there. Oh, do you think you could have created what you have created in 2015 just as being an entrepreneur and using passion?
No. This is a straight
Why not?
answer from the heart. No, I don't believe
Mhm.
that. The thing is, like, your passion is your passion. Work can be tough. Work can be very stressful. And if I do, this is really what I think. And I'm going to also ask you the same question because it's very interesting to be in this
Mhm.
conversation. The thing is, the passion in your life is to actually get out of your routine, get out of your
Mhm.
work habits. You have a passion, it sets your mind free. And it's good for you, huh? It might not suit everyone, right? But for me, a passion needs to be out of your work scope because
Mhm.
you can easily transform this passion into a nightmare. And then what made you happy in life, well, brings a nightmare in your life. And then comes the stress. And after that, you're like, okay, I will never be passionate anymore because you have this bad experience. This bad emotions arising around this passion being transformed into a nightmare.
Mhm.
Um, and that's why I say no. And I say no from the heart because I was passionate about food, right? This is part of it, but it's my
Mhm.
vocation that led me to it. And if I can tell you something, I was cooking all the time. Now I don't even have time to cook. And if I cook, I do something very simple. So, my
Mhm.
passion is like, where do you have the passion? Like, okay, you cut your vegetables and that's it, you eat them. Wow, super passionate. Um, so that's why also, because my passion was to, you know, discover those recipes I made, very weird mixes and all of that, because that was really my passion, doing something really. The recipes sometimes were really, really weird, but in the end, tasted well. And this was really, really like my passion. But again, this was a mistake that I did. So that's why I'm telling you today, no, because it's
Mhm.
from my past experience that I can tell, do not do that. Because today
Mhm.
it's not my passion anymore to cook. I like to have the time to cook and so forth, but do I have it? No. And then I'm stressed because I don't have the time. And then my passion, where does it go? And what
Mhm.
do you think about that?
Well, that's an. I'm passionate about that subtopic. No, I'm kidding. um, but I am known, and people who know me since a long time know that I'm extremely passionate, and I can, and I a little bit in a laughing voice, but some truth is in there. It's like, in a sense, I was able to have, with my passion, to create a company, and 6 months later to think about, shit, what did I do? it, it's like, because it had nothing to do with what I really wanted, and that's why I asked the question, who am I, or who are you, at the beginning, because I didn't ask that question. For me, it was just, oh, that's really cool, I want to do that. Uh, but it had nothing to do with what deeply resonated in my core. And for me, and that's one of the reasons why I totally turned my life around, not because data center or cloud or blockchain environment or whatever I was in is not good or is bad. It's just because it was not never resonating with me, but I just needed 20 years to find that out. So passion for me is really a tool. Passion is something you use when you have your vocation, when you have your calling. Then passion becomes or becomes unstoppable. But when you are using it, and I take this analogy with a burning rose. It's like you cut a rose, then you set it on fire. That's passion. It's beautiful. Everybody says, "Wow, wow, wow, beautiful!" And at the end, there's no core. There's nothing underneath. There's nothing which is really nurturing this passion. So that's all mine. And strangely enough, I didn't go in my response to you now into the passion outside of business, because that's something never existed for me. That's how I am. It's like I came out this, for me, work was the only thing which was existing. And somehow I created a life around this. And even now, even so, I call myself being evolved a little bit more than I was a few years ago. I still, like, I'm happy when vacations are over, because then I can go back to what I love to do. So it's like, I'm not detached from that. Maybe I will one day, who knows. I never know how evolution goes. But for me right now, but at least now for me, it is like, I very clearly ask me this question: who am I? And then ask my question: what do I want to create on that basis? And that's what I am doing. So now there is this calling, this vocation, to go out and to help people to evolve as a human being. That's my vocation and passion. No, and I do it with passion. Let's say like
I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah. So during our preparation for today, you said that your inner strengths that drive you are discipline, craziness, and positivity. Could you explain further? I would love to hear more on that one. Especially craziness.
When you put discipline and craziness together, you're like, okay, that person is very weird.
But we all are. We just
Yeah,
don't
of
want to
course.
show it. So please show it.
Of course. Um, so discipline, of course. Let's start with the more classical conservative answer to gradually go to the more crazy one. So discipline. I believe that discipline is what pushes you out of the bed.
Yeah.
Motivation comes and go. Discipline is there every day. If you're a disciplined person, no matter what, you will go out of bed, you will face your challenges, you will go for it, and that's it. And if you do not have discipline in life, well, you can do things good. And then motivation goes down. You don't have discipline, you don't do it, basically. So, and again, past experience, life experience. Yeah, I know I'm not that old, but I still have those very,
Well, a
let's
little
say,
experience. It's not about
it,
age. It's about experience. Huh? It's about
it's
the,
about
the life
experience.
you live and how many.
It's about experience. Yeah, we could talk about years and so yeah. Now you want to know the craziness part, right? And
Yeah,
positivity. Okay,
I
let's
want to know.
let's go with positivity, and then we finish with craziness. Okay, like it's way
Okay.
better. I don't want to
I
shock
take your
people.
lead.
It's like
I take your lead. Yeah, I take your lead.
so positivity. It's better to see the glass half full than half empty.
Mm.
As said before, if you want to dwell in a situation, just dwell in it, but it will not change. The situation happens for a reason, and better to see the positivity out of it. You can see positivity in any situation, in any situation. Because if you have tough times in your life, it brings you back to reality. You need to take a step back out of it. Because, we human beings, let's go for the philosophical parts.
Please,
Ilana
please.
Devillers. So The thing is, this world is everything is about material, right? You need to feel it. You need tangible things, tangible. Um, we are in a capitalistic world, right? Human being is homo economicus, like, right? This is basically how humans are. So we focus on tangible things. But when you do not have the tangible things, what are you left with? You're left with yourself. Left with your family. If you do have one, people also do not have families. And I'm sorry for that because that is really tough too. You're left with your emotions. You're left with the way you react. And this is how the only thing that you can feel, you cannot seize it, you can feel it. And then you realize that intangible things might be more important and are more important than tangible.
Mhm.
You will buy something in a shop. It brings you happiness for a short moment of time. Is it really happiness? You might be joyful. Oh my God, I have a new pair of sneakers. Because I love sneakers, but still. I have a new pair of sneakers. Wow, amazing. I'm super happy about it. You wear them a week and then you go back to your old shoes because they are more comfortable. Again, see, that's the thing of tangibility. And that's why I think, positivity that comes from there because you need to understand that bad things happen for a reason. And this is what I say to my team. It is a lesson. You need to see the lesson out of it. It's not set in stone. It happened for a reason. You need to get the lesson out of it. You need to understand why it happened because it happened for a reason. What does it bring? Look at your emotions. How do you react? Why are you reacting like that? It's not the situation in itself that is bad, it's the way you react to the situation. And believe me, sometimes I have clients sending me or external parties sending me like emails where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna answer right now. But no, I don't do that. I don't. I take my time to analyze the email, analyze my emotions when I had them, then I will answer it. Then I will answer. And never answer on spot. I take 24 hours to reply to a bad email because it brings bad emotions. And you do not want to react on your bad emotions because it brings the bad out of you. And that's why I'm a very positive person. And I'm not saying I'm positive every day, right? I'm not black or white. It's a different tones of gray, but you need to accept yourself in bad situations and in good situation because it comes from yourself. And positivity here for me is how it drives. Okay, now let's go
That,
to this.
that was good. It will be an amazing snippet out of this. But no, honestly, what I love about it is this detachment. Uh, uh, I remember how I woke up in the night. There was the BlackBerry time, so like you had like your mails came in, and I had my BlackBerry at my side of my bed, and 10 times a night I was waking up. Oh, I was so proud, so stupid, whatever. And I remember one day I was in an argument with the co-founder of our first company, and it was a very good friend. It was very emotional and wow. And he sent me a mail during the night on the mail I sent. So looks like that he did the same like me, and I answered, and yeah, well, we talked really. We had a really good talk a few weeks ago. The first time since I don't know 10 years or 12, and that is actually this detachment is so important. I actually I found that recently in Outlook you can put a buffer. So you click send, but it will only be sent in X in 5 minutes. The mail. So I set that up just in case. Because it's really so important to be able because then we can observe ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
So now the craziness, you're not
Yeah, I
getting
will not
away.
escape that one. I know. Well, craziness. I think you need a sparkle of craziness in your life to make things not boring.
I
And
love it.
people know me as crazy. I like to laugh. I'm, life is beautiful. And, I realize that also, we're part of the world is huge. You have a lot of people that unfortunately do not live the life we have. And we need to be grateful every day. And to be grateful, you also need to enjoy your life because your life was given for that reason. And I like to laugh. That's it. I like being crazy. I like to be, the crazy, little baby shark or whatsoever that they call me. And I like to drive parties. And parties are good. You need to get out of it because there's a huge scandal recently about that. And let's be honest, I stand with that. We're women. We can do whatever we want, and we need it. Yeah, we need it, right? So
Okay.
that's it. And the thing is, like, yes, I'm crazy, and I admit it. That's part of who I am, and I'm not serious. Not everything. Of course, you have serious things that you need to treat seriously, but this little spark of craziness, where you let it go, you just let it go because you need it. And yes, guess what? You're human and you have all the rights to do so.
Yeah.
And people who party with me, my friends, they know that I'm sure they're all laughing right now because they exactly know what I'm saying, right?
Oh, yeah, we remember. Oh, shit, she was really going off there. I imagine. I imagine.
I have no limits. I have no limits. You know what the thing is, like, just test it. Test, even in business. And people they're like, oh my god, are you crazy? You just said that? Are you serious? Like, look at yourself, never. Who are you to judge me, first of all? If I tested, a worst case scenario, it's a no. Worst case scenario. But I love the no's because this is where real business comes in. This is where the challenge is. For me, a no is a yes. Yes, too easy leave. Not it's good, but it's not really challenging. Again, you see the craziness that I have here? That's
Yeah, I see the sparkle in your eyes, actually. It's interesting. No, but the energy behind it is all about the energy which you're conveying, and the energy behind is really very determined. And this determination, I think, is defining you anyhow. But what I wanted to say is, like, in my system, I talk about the 5 states of mind to be able to have a holistic or fulfilled life, or holistically successful life. And you actually named 3 of the 5. So you talk a lot about gratitude. You talk about joy. It's so important to laugh. Laughing is so important. Or for me, it's like, and then it's about compassion. It's about love, love, and it's about forgiveness, because we cannot let go of anything if we cannot forgive. So it's like, before we can accept and surrender, we have to forgive. So just saying, it's like, we already used 3 in our conversation, and I'm pretty sure that the 2 others you use anyhow, and we just didn't talk about them. But these are these state of minds which, in essence, if we want to, when we talk about success, holistically successful, or if we want to live a fulfilled life, it's the only way it gets. But then the self-love is important. How about that? Let's go there. What about that?
Ooh,
So
that's itchy.
yeah, now we go somewhere. You told me that a few months ago, you had a couple of months ago, you had quite a wake up call. Can you talk about that?
Of course, of course. I'm not here to put always the glitters in the eyes, right? That this is the moment. Well, yeah. In June, I had a very, very, very tough moment in my life. The ambulance came to pick me up. Basically, went to the hospital, and I'm going to short story long because it's a lot of details. And the doctor told me, I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm going to say it straight into your eyes. If you do not take care of yourself, you will die in 2 years. I'm 29. Basic calculation. Okay, I made the 27 club. Woohoo! But you're like, okay, do I want to die at 31? Potentially not. 2 years. I invested 7 years. I'm like,
Directly talking about the company. You thought about the company. No, I cannot go.
yes,
This
immediately,
is
of
not where I
course.
want to have it in 2 years. Well, okay, well, we can talk about that one. That's an interesting one.
Of course, you got to do that. That's that's how I think.
I love it.
And at the hospital, well, I didn't have my phone, I had my computer. I was stressing about that, right? And I was like, also the demons came back. Where's my phone? I need to reply to the clients. I need to do this. I need to that, right? But they were like, no, hell no, you're not touching your phone. You're here for a reason. And yeah, you realize it. You realize, and you're young. Well, quite young. But and I was like, is it really worth your life? You see yourself dead in 2 years? No. I imagine something else for my life. I'm not Mrs. Irma, but I still think that I have more time to live, and where I want to go and what I want to do in life. And then, the wake up call is pretty tough. It's really, you're 29 years old. The doctor says that straight into your face. You're like, well, I waited a little bit more older, but apparently not, huh? But it happens for a reason, because my family, my friends always taught me, Ilana, you need to take care about yourself. And I was like, oh, yeah, guess what? I'm going to fitness. You see, I take care about myself. Yeah, no, this is not taking care about yourself. It is part of it, but it's not taking care about yourself. And so, first time since a long, long time, I took holidays this year, 6 days. Out of the 6 days, of course, I worked a little bit, that's for sure. But there were days where I didn't work at all, didn't touch my emails, no computer. And one of my best friends told me that she was really impressed, because she's my best friend for a long, long time. And she was really impressed about how I managed to do that, because I was incapable to do that before. And that was a wake up call. It's like action reaction. It's not perfect, of course not, because I was still on holidays, checked my emails, had some calls. 6 days is not a lot for sure, but it's already a beginning, and I'm very proud of myself of having done that. You know, when I need to stop, I stop, because I always say to my team, when you're tired, you stop. You do not continue. You go home, you go out, you do something for yourself, you do it. But of course, I say it and I didn't do it, right? So that was also part of the thing. And yes, it's a challenging moment, because it's not really not easy to hear. Sorry.
What are your thank you for sharing, because I know this kind of stuff is not easy to talk about, so thank you very much. But what are your learnings? What are your key learnings out of it for yourself?
Well, first of all, we talked about this vocation, helping other people, and so forth. And the thing is, like, I realized that I helped so much the other people that I forgot myself in the process.
Mhm.
And so I am putting myself first now. It might please some people, might not please some people, but again, I don't care. So now it's me first, and putting my energy first, giving the energy that is craving here for my attention is myself. If I'm good with myself, I will be even more impactful by helping other people. But if I'm not good with myself, then of course I don't do things 100% right. Of course I attract bad energies, of course all of that, which is totally normal. Because if you want to attract positivity, well, be positive. You cannot be negative and then, oh my God, you attract positivity from the day to the other. That's the first lesson. Second lesson is that
Yeah.
work is good, but it's not your entire life. That's the second question. Second lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. What comes up for me when you talk about it is I read this book recently, Who Not How. Let me check if I find where. I don't find it now. I don't do it anymore. Who wrote it? But it's who not how, and it talks about something we all know, but it takes a whole book and hammers it all the time. Don't ask the question how to do things. Ask the question who can do it for me. If you constantly, but it is extremely powerful, because you could at first glance you say this is an egocentric thing, but people like you who have a mission and who are on a mission, and a mission which will take lifetimes, If you think you have to ask yourself how to do things all the time, you will never accomplish your mission. Because you can only accomplish it if you find who do the things you don't specifically have to do. And for me, it's similar, because like I have to say, it's like I problem of people like you and me is we can do everything. Like I can do my website, I can do my accounting if it has to. I don't like all that stuff, but I can. So okay, well let's spare these. Let's not spend this money and do it just, and I do it myself. But during that time where we do stuff which is not based on our vocation, to come back to the terms, well, we are not working on our vocation. Means that we are not pushing forward to what we really want to achieve. So who not how? We'll send you a link.
That's a good one, but I might challenge you a little bit there, because
Please, I love that.
in life you don't really do all the time what you love to do, and you also need to do things that you do not like to do in your jobs, in your life. You like to clean your
Yeah,
house, to clean his house. You like to clean your mess. You like, that's the thing.
I
And
agree. I agree.
and the thing is, this is what I tell my team too. You know,
Yeah.
my job, what I do, I don't like everything, but I need to do it because I need to push myself. I need to go beyond my boundaries, beyond my comfort zone. And beyond your comfort zone is also doing things you do not like because you evolve in a better version of you. And it doesn't mean you
Ye-
will like it.
Yes.
It just means that you will cope better with the things you do not like to do.
Yeah. It's interesting. Let me challenge you on that.
I love being challenged. Go ahead.
Because I agree with you that I think it's extremely important to do things actually which are not directly. It's a little bit like vacation if you start to really see these things like that. But when we are in a business, when we are creating something, when we are in our calling, or we want to go towards our goals with the intention of living through this times in a positive way, not through being sick and being not healthy and I don't know what. So we are clearly, when we are not looking if who can do things best. It's like I last year decided around this time I will do a new website, even so the first one was 3 months old, but it was totally shit. So I wanted a new one. So I said, okay, let's go. I will go for Webflow, whatever. And then, okay, well, it takes me 2-3 weeks, and then I know how this works, and I will do it myself. So Marco, again, like these 2-3 weeks, I will take out of my brain time, my time to create what I want to create, and I do a website technically. But that's not what we are striving out to do. No, yes, we have to do things we don't like. Fortunately, I will not turn my camera. You will see all the mess here with all my invoices lying and so on. So yeah, I know. I do that because that's how it is. It's something which is part of us. But the question for me is always how much. So there are things you have to do. Like I cannot say where what account this goes. Nobody else can do that. I have to do that. So it's me. But most of the times it's how much does it help my mission? How much does it drive my mission? And how effective and how much pleasure does it bring me? Because if it creates, I always talk about biochemistry, a positive biochemistry in me, that means that I get more free to do what I really want to do. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I
pros
get
and
your
cons.
points. I literally get your point. But again, the thing is, it's also, it's like a scale, like it's you go from A to B to B to C to D, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. And the thing is, like, at a certain extent, is do you have the power to delegate? Financial power, mental power to not
Mm.
go back and do the work twice. Will you let them make a mistake? That goes with time, right? But in the beginning, you do not automatically, as a startup, you do not have the financial means. And we know
Absolutely. Absolutely.
how expensive the services are here. And it's very difficult to make it, right? It's very, very difficult. So in the beginning, if you do not have the financial means, you cannot delegate. So you need to get used of doing that. But your the thing is, like, the more you grow your company as an entrepreneur, because we are entrepreneurs and we know what it is. The company grows, you get more and more financial means, so you can delegate to people who are excellent in the things that you are delegating at. But that goes with time, you know. So
Yeah.
I totally get it. I totally get it. But I wanted to put a little perspective there.
It comes, and I agree with your perspective. I still do stuff I don't like. So, but I totally get it. I think um, we very often create ourselves limiting beliefs, and one of these limiting beliefs, for me at least, for a long time, here was, yeah, I cannot find the right person, I cannot pay them, and so on. Since I found my access to Upwork and all this stuff, it's like I get stuff done and everybody's happy. It's like the guys who do it, they are happy. They have they can do it, and I get it done. Now, when it comes to more daily works and so on, it's difficult. Right now, I'm looking for so if anybody listens and wants to work with me, I looking for an assistant with whom I can work, who will never be hired, but I will work on a freelance basis, and that's not easy. That's not easy to find, especially here. So in other economies, it is easier. When you're in the US, then that is easy, and they know what to do. Here, it is not so easy because, well, it's smaller, so that's not so simple. Yeah. Wow, wow, we covered a lot. Let me see. What did I want to talk about still? Oh yeah. Ooh. I don't know if it's the best, but it's really good. You stated that faith is really important for you in your life. Can you explain further, please?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, faith is really, really important in the life. You know, you need to believe in something. But faith has really different meanings. As said, my childhood was not all about sparkles and everything. So, you know, having this faith to believe that it will get better, you need to have it somewhere. Otherwise, I think potentially if I wouldn't had the faith to believe that things will get better, and the rest, obviously, with the disciplines of force, motivation, craziness, and positivity, and the rest, potentially I would not also be here today, or I would not have chosen this path, or this career. And we are humans. We believe in things. We believe in humanity, and amen, we do believe in humanity. Otherwise, it would be the end of the world already. We believe in positivity. We believe in fairness, right? So faith is good. We believe our religions, everything, like we all have different faiths. But faith, you have your own faith, but faith is something internal,
Mhm.
and it's something that drives you. And for me, faith is really, really important. Yes, it is, definitely. And it might sound crazy for people, it might sound not crazy for other people. We do not have we are all different, and that is amazing, because difference is amazing. It's great to be different. It's great to learn from difference, right? Because you learn from difference. If we would all be copies, oh my god, the world would be boring, believe me, very boring. And faith is good. People still have faith. This is how people believe they will go out of a situation. Sometimes religion is like faith in your religion, faith in God, faith in all of that. And yes, faith is for me very important, but also for humanity. Because for me, humanity is based on faith.
At least our stories. What do you believe in?
And what I believe in, oh my god. So I believe So I believe that, I don't believe that aliens are there, or potentially we have other things. I believe in energy. I believe in sixth sense and all of that, because otherwise it wouldn't exist. I believe that humanity was created. I believe in the religions we have, all of them. I believe in all of the religions. I believe in the good humanity, right? Because I also believe that if we give too much attention to the bad people, well, we forget about the good things, and good things are amen for that. Way, way above bad people, right? I believe that people are mainly good. I don't believe that you're born bad. I believe that, you know, we all have traumas. We all have traumas. And it's the reaction you have regarding a situation. We are all traumatized. Not all of us, but, bad people are traumatized.
Mhm.
If they react for something, they are traumatized. I'm not, yeah, you have also, those, you know, pervers narcissic, whatsoever, all of that. I don't know, narcissics,
Mhm.
whatsoever, manipulators, and so forth. But people are traumatized. It comes from somewhere, and it's
Mhm.
and I believe people, when we are born, I really believe that we were good because God or whomever decided, or our parents decided to put us here on earth for a reason. We all have our vocations. We are all here for a reason. And I do not believe that we're born bad. That's for sure.
We definitely are not. I cannot see any badness in any newborn child.
Exactly. So the thing is, that's why I believe in positivity. I believe that humanity can be positive, and that's why I'm also very positive, because yeah, we all need to understand people, right? It's how people react with you. It's not how, it's why they reacted like that. It might be from the past, why the situation happened, how it
Yeah.
came. No, why, what, why is the question. And this is what I believe in. Why I believe in that? Why I believe in that? Well, because of my past.
Actually, you made a full 360, and that is really beautiful because we are all products of our external conditioning, which there are the three phases: 0 to 6 years, and then 6 to 18, and 18 and older. It's like that. That's where our programs were written, our algorithms were written, and we all are products of that. And so that's a fact. Now we all have the capacity. That changes us from other beings. Is that we can look back and we can say, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I don't like that." I talked before about me being happy to come back out of vacation. I know that's an old conditioning, but it's okay. I have so many other things to tackle that I'm not taking care of that right now, and that's fine. And that's fine. So it's all for me. It all comes back to the awareness of yourself. And you said it before in different terms, from seeing yourself and detaching you from the story. When we are in a bad situation, to detach yourself from it. At the end, it's all about this detachment. It's all about this awareness. And then we have people who are not doing that at all. We see them every day on TV right now, and that's why we are where we are,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
but I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for them because they cannot do this exercise, right? It comes with time, and and this detachment is important. And I was really lucky in the way that I can detach myself at my age. And people, as you said, on TV, who have a good life already, they are not capable to do so. And I'm very sorry for them.
yeah. On that gloomy note, I am very happy that you took an hour of your extremely full calendar agenda to have this conversation because it was delightful, beautiful, insightful, and I thank you so much for your openness because it's important that we are vulnerable. It's important, especially when we are leaders in the startup environment and so on, that we are vulnerable, that we show people that it's not all roses and it's all it is real. And if you have problems, don't hide it, just talk about it. Go, yeah, just share, because everybody has these problems. So everybody who ever raised money knows exactly the problems he is having. So you can sit in your corner and say, oh, I'm the only one in this world who has these problems, or you say, oh yeah, let's talk to other ones. They maybe cannot help, but at least they listen, and that will help you to see it differently. So thank you so much, Ilana. We are.
Well, thank you, Marco. This was amazing. Really, this was
I
amazing.
love it. Thank you so much. And let's catch up and see you very soon. So for all my Zentranauts, I wish you an extraordinary end of summer, and we will be back. Let me see, I don't see the date now. End of September, as usual, for the next ZentraCast. In any case, bye-bye.